So we are back with a brand new episode of Walkin Talkin with Tim, and my guest today is Mike Gower, who is the Executive Director for the United Way of Gloucester County. So to start out, Mike, I'm going to let you tell everybody out there exactly what it is that United Way of Gloucester County does to impact our community, because I think lots of folks don't know some of the smaller things that you guys do that are intricate.
Sure. Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me, Tim. I really appreciate you having me on as a guest. I know this took a little bit of time to get our schedules coordinated.
A little bit.
And I really appreciate it.
I think it took about a year.
You know, I thought I was supposed to be the first one, and now I'm like 3 years later.
It matters that we got him. It's all good.
So, yeah, as Tim said, my name is Michael Gower. I'm the Executive Director of the United Way of Gloucester County. We are a local nonprofit organization. We are celebrating our 65th anniversary this year.
65.
65.
Happy birthday.
Which is amazing, because really what it means is we're here to help the community, and we aren't a single charity type of organization. We're not here looking at one issue or one topic. We do everything from education, we do healthy living, we do financial stability, and we do general emergency assistance. During the course of any year, we could help anywhere from 25 to 50 nonprofit organizations. And we do different things based off of what the community needs. We're doing a transportation program right now. During this past year, we actually had a disaster relief fund because of the tornado that came through. And obviously, you guys know Tim as our MC from our telethon during our COVID recovery fund. So we definitely appreciate everything everyone does.
The blue jackets and the fake tuck shirts, yes.
Oh, they were awesome.
They were fun. So, but you do more than that, though. Talk about the mini grants, too.
Sure. So we couldn't do this by ourselves. It's myself and a small team. There's 4 of us on staff. So really what it is we work with all the local nonprofits. So we have 22 different partner agencies. A lot of them you would know: Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Red Cross, ARC, Ability, and the list goes on and on. But the other great program that we do is we do a mini grant program. So we actually work with small local nonprofit organizations and fund them to do different components. One of the ones I love is there's an equine therapy program that we help in Monroeville, and they needed a saddle for a horse. So a mini grant was able to buy a saddle for a horse that was able to help. It's a children's disability program. So they couldn't help the children without actually having that saddle.
Right.
So it was just a great way to help out one of our local nonprofit partners.
Yeah, it's a thing about helping kids on an emotional level with stress, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's very cool. There's a lot of that with horses. So, so let's talk about you. Let's get right into you. So you said you're from Salem County, and you said you have 13 generations, according to your family, right?
Yes.
In Salem County. That's a long time.
Well, it's not just Salem. My mom and dad have gotten both big into genealogy. They told me this, and I'm using this as a fact, that they say we are 13 generations from Salem, Gloucester, and Cumberland County. So
that's a long time.
It's a long time to be around. A lot of farmers in that list. But we're South Jersey people, so.
Right, and so you said also that your wife, your wife's name, that's how you get your wife's name.
My wife is Alicia.
Alicia, hi Alicia.
Dr. Alicia Gower. Again, I've got to throw a small plug in there for my wife. Gower Family Chiropractic. It's actually in Pennsville in Salem County. Check her out. She does a great job. And she is not from South Jersey or Salem County. I actually had to find someone from New York and bring her back to the community just to make sure.
Exactly. So you said you also told me that you met your wife at college.
Yes.
So you guys were in the same dorm, and you said that you met her, I guess, was it your first year?
Yeah, freshman year. She actually lived across the hall from me. It was Space Hall. We went to a small private liberal arts college in the Finger Lakes region of New York called Keuka College.
Keuka College. Who knew?
Small private liberal arts school.
So, and you got a degree in...
I have a bachelor's degree in sociology. I have a minor in political science. I have a concentration in criminal justice and criminology. And I also later on got my master's degree in the administration of human services.
Look at this guy. All these degrees, right?
Still trying to figure out what I want to do when I grow up.
Still trying to figure out. Yeah, well,
I want to be you, Tim.
Well, what you said was, this is important, and you made a point to make a point to tell me that it's not, to you, you love what you do.
Yes.
You love your job so much, and it's not to you, it's not about the money, it's about the what makes you happy.
Yes.
So
So I'm a big believer
expound.
in you really need to do what makes you happy. I'm very lucky. I found a career where I'm able to do 20 different things on any given day. No 2 days working at the United Way is ever the same. Because it could literally be one day we could be talking about transportations and transportation routes, east-west, the Pure Land shuttle that we run.
Yep.
The next day we could be
Which
talking
is
about...
hugely impactful.
It's an amazing program. We're helping over 2,500 people per month ride that shuttle service.
If you don't know what that is and you work in the Pure Land industrial parks, that's something you need to take a look at.
Yeah. But really what it comes down to is personal passion. And I really love helping people, and that's how I got into the nonprofit world. And thankfully, I did throw a shout out to my wife already, but she's a doctor. She takes very good care of me.
Which actually keeps you in line,
Yeah,
literally.
she keeps me adjusted, well adjusted. But I'm able to help people, and that's really what I want to do.
Right.
And help other people, help people as well. One thing Tim and I were talking about is how important family is to me.
Yes.
And really, that's why I love being here in South Jersey. I mean, it's where my family is. Being able to see my parents,
A lot of them.
my grandparents, and hang out with people. It was really kind of the best times of your life. So you want to be with the people that you care about.
You said that, and in fact, you went so far as to say one of your favorite things to do is to hang out with your family and have, like, game nights and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, Phase 10 at my sister's house. She loves it. My wife is not always a fan. She'd rather play Skippo. But board games, card games, anything that we can get together and have some fun with the family, hang out with my nieces and nephews. It's just a wonderful time.
And you like video games.
Video games, yep.
So what are your favorite video games?
Oh, so right now I'm playing Hogwarts Legacy. So, I mean, I am that kind of, fantasy, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, all those type of books I'm in. But I always go back to the old school classics. So we were talking a little bit about the N64. So I was playing GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, Mario Kart are the three go-tos. Or you can find me playing FIFA. I'm a huge soccer fan, so always got to play FIFA.
Old school for me is like Hubert and just Pac-Man, and all that kind of stuff. So we come from we have a different generation.
Different thing, yeah.
But it's all good. I was Atari. I'm a big fan of Atari all day long. So soccer. So let's talk about soccer. You said you love soccer a lot. You're one of the original, I guess, when you talked about when the union started.
Yep.
So you're like a founding member, you said.
I am a founding member of the Philadelphia Union. I started with season tickets in Section 113.
There you go.
From day one. And I've been to most of the games.
You and Lisa Carney.
Oh, Lisa's always there with me.
So, but we also talked about, I asked you what are the craziest things you've ever done was, and you talked about this one particular soccer game. So let's talk about that.
Sure. So a couple of years ago, my wife and I decided to visit Greece. And obviously I love soccer. We've been going to a couple of different soccer games when we're out and about on our travels. We ended up getting tickets for Derby, which is Athens versus Athens game, which was Panathinaikos versus Olympiakos. I am actually a card-carrying member of Olympiakos now because that's how you had to get tickets.
Really?
Yeah. So I actually literally had to sign up to be a member of their group in order to get the tickets there. But it was amazing experience. Think about Lincoln Financial Field, 50, 60,000 people. Yeah. But the amount of flares, the amount of smoke, you couldn't see 5 feet in front of you.
Yeah.
Literally during the game, there was an individual that had a heart attack in the stands, had to be airlifted out. The goalie during the match actually bit his tongue and actually swallowed it. They were doing it.
God.
They were doing the tongue removal on the field. It was just, and for people that have not been over to a European match, everything's kind of sectioned off, so you're kind of in your one little lane area, so you can't walk all the way around the stadium. Yeah. And we're in a foreign country. No one's speaking English. Everyone's screaming stuff. It's red versus green. It was just a crazy experience.
And on top of that, you also said that you and your wife, you like to travel a lot. That's your favorite. That's one of your favorite things to do. So, and you don't particularly go anywhere and see the typical tourist sites. You like to dig into local towns, things like that. You said you went to Germany and saw lots of cool little towns, things like that. You went to England. You said you saw the castle that they did the scenes from the movie from Harry Potter.
So again, Harry Potter fan, obviously, if that hasn't already come out. I'm sure I'm going to get roasted for this by everyone that I know, but I love the fantasy stuff.
It is good.
But actually, on my wife and our honeymoon, we actually ended up going around England, Scotland, and Wales, and we actually visited a lot of the movie sites for the Harry Potter movies.
That is cool, though.
So we went to Alnwick Castle, which is where they did the flying scene in the first Harry Potter.
Very cool.
They had the fake brooms out on the lawn, so you could do your up.
Did you do it?
Of course, I've got pictures of that. They're actually on film, though. They're not digital, so.
When we post this, he's going to have to post one picture of himself with the broom. At least one.
And we've got the King's Crossing. We've got the cart. So we did all the kind of normal stuff that you would do as a fan. And this was even before the movie series was finished. I don't even think the last book was out then.
What I think was cool, though, was the story about Germany, where you said you went there and you went and visited smaller towns that people really didn't know about, and you went and visited like Christmas markets. My wife would think that was cool as hell.
So one of the things that we really love, and my wife and I do get to travel, it's kind of how we reset ourselves. It's really what brings us a lot of joy. So normally when people go to Germany, you definitely got to see Munich, you got to see Berlin, and definitely they're great spots to see. But we went around the holidays, we did the Christmas markets. For those of you that aren't familiar, pretty much it's an outdoor vending stall. They have one in Philadelphia set up in the middle of the downtown.
Yeah.
And it's just a great way to get into the holiday spirit.
Absolutely.
But the big ones obviously are in the big cities. But we actually rented a car and drove all the way around the country and actually went to these small little town ones, which were so unique and different.
Yeah. And you got stayed out of trouble.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I'm a weird one when it comes to travel. And if you told me you were giving me a rental car and said, go take a ride around Germany, I'd be like, I don't know, buddy. I think I'm going to have a tour guide or something. I'm not doing that by myself. Not happening.
And I found out driving around different countries, we've been very lucky. We haven't had much problems with that.
Right.
Going into the countries that don't use the traditional alphabet, so if you're doing the Cyrillic alphabet, that's where you struggle a little more. Or I will say, I did end up, I'm going to get in trouble for this, saying this story. But my wife and I were actually up near The Hague in the Netherlands, and we actually got twisted around and we started going the wrong way on a one-way street.
Oh,
and all of a sudden, a bus starts coming at us.
Like a movie.
It's like, oh, great. Had to put it in reverse, flip around, but hey, it's a learning experience.
But you couldn't read the signs, right? You didn't.
Well, the names of the roads were like this long. I mean, literally by the time I got past it, it was already done.
The name of the road is longer than the road itself.
Oh my goodness, it was crazy.
That's pretty
And they
awesome.
all started with like the same like 10 letters. They all ended with the last same 10 letters. It was like the 20 in the middle that were different. So you're trying to figure out which road am I turning left or right on.
That's very cool. So my last question is going to be, as far as what advice, because you've done all this work with United Way all these years, what advice do you have for people that want to get involved in their local charities? What would you tell, especially the younger group coming up, that they probably don't have a lot of involvement yet?
Right. So one of the things I would always say is reach out to your local United Way, whether it's here in Gloucester County or another community. That's really what the United Way is designed for. We're here to help you achieve whatever your philanthropic mission is. That's what I really love about the United Way, because it might be, I want to give X amount of dollars per pay to my favorite charity. Yeah. We can facilitate that. You might also want to make an impact, whether it's an education program or a health program. We can help that as well. Disaster services, we're here to help that. But really, we're here...
Just get some time.
Right. Give time, give your money, give your talent. That's really what it's about. Give a voice to the people that don't have a voice.
Yeah.
And make sure that you're helping the people when you can.
Yeah, volunteer when you can, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and there we go. So if people want to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
Sure. Our website is uwgcnj.org. It's the acronym for the United Way. United Way, Gloucester County, New Jersey.org. You can call me directly, 856-845-4303. Or my email is mgower@uwgcnj.org.
And there you go. Well, listen, thanks for being on.
Thank you for having me.
And everybody out there, listen, we got a race coming up, a 5K coming up, Walk the Talk on May 6th at Riverwinds Community Center. Check it out. And for everybody else, keep on walking, keep on moving. Follow me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. and we will see you next time on Walkin' and Talkin' with Tim. See ya.